It's been about a month since I cut off my wife's access to our joint finances, and I wish I could say things have gotten better, but honestly, they've only gotten worse. I thought pulling the plug on her constant spending would be a wake-up call, that it would make her realize the toll her compulsive shopping was taking on us, both financially and emotionally. Instead, it's like I lit a match and threw it on a pile of kindling I didn't even know was there. Since that day, Marcia has barely spoken to me. Our once comfortable home has become a tense, silent place. She avoids me as much as possible, and when she does talk, it's curt, distant. She's fallen into what I can only describe as a deep depression. It's like she's shutting down in front of me. The house is an absolute mess now. What used to be a mildly cluttered space with craft supplies has turned into piles of unopened boxes, laundry left unfolded, dishes piling up. She doesn't seem to care about anything anymore. Not the house, not herself, not even us. I know I've contributed to her mental health struggles by cutting off her access to the finances so suddenly. I thought it was necessary at the time, but seeing how much it's affected her, I'm starting to realize I didn't consider the full picture. The compulsive buying was more than just a financial issue, it was an emotional crutch for her. I understand that now. So after watching her sink further into depression, I tried to meet her halfway. I thought maybe giving her some control back might help. I offered her a compromise, $200 per month to spend on crafts. I figured it was a decent amount, enough to buy some supplies without breaking the bank, but also something that would impose some boundaries on her spending. To me, it seemed like a reasonable solution, a good balance between her hobby and our financial reality. But she hated the idea. She told me that being given a budget felt patronizing, like I was treating her like a child, governing her every move. She said she didn't want to live under those kinds of restrictions, and that I was making her feel powerless. Every attempt I made to explain that it was for both our benefit, so she could continue doing what she loves without us going broke, just seemed to make things worse. The distance between us grew even more. As the days passed, I realized this wasn't something I could solve on my own. I started suggesting therapy, both individual therapy for her and couples therapy for us. I know there's more going on here than just financial issues. Her inability to work and her obsessive buying have to be tied to her mental health. I've seen the signs of it for a while now, but this past month has made it undeniable. I asked her gently, over and over, to consider seeing someone. I even offered to make the appointments to go with her if she wanted, but she wouldn't budge. She insisted she didn't need therapy, that I was the one with the problem. She said all she needed was to be left alone to do her crafts, to have that outlet. She doesn't see or doesn't want to see how far things have gone. When she refused to seek help on her own, I decided to take matters into my own hands. I booked an appointment for couples therapy, hoping that maybe if we went together she'd feel less like she was being targeted. But when the day came, she flat out refused to go. I tried to reason with her, but nothing I said made a difference. She locked herself in the bedroom, leaving me no choice but to go alone. That first session of therapy was eye-opening for me. It was a relief just to have someone to talk to, someone who could listen to everything I've been dealing with and offer insight. The therapist helped me understand that Marcia's refusal to work and her compulsive buying were likely tied to deeper issues related to her self-worth, control, and maybe even anxiety or depression that she's not fully acknowledging. I learned that her shopping wasn't just about the stuff. It was about filling a void, about giving her some sense of purpose or comfort in a life where she feels powerless and isolated. The therapist suggested that Marcia's need to buy things and her resistance to budgets, therapy, or house cleaning might be her way of trying to control something in her life when she feels like everything else is out of her hands. Her inability to work, whether because of her physical condition or mental exhaustion, may make her feel like she's not contributing, and the crafting fills that gap for her. But the problem is, it's not filling it in a healthy way. It's only digging her deeper into a hole. I've gained a lot from therapy, more than I expected. It's helped me understand that Marcia isn't just being difficult, she's suffering. But now, I'm left with a question I don't know how to answer. What do I do now? I've offered every solution I can think of. I've suggested therapy, a budget, even hiring someone to help clean the house so it doesn't overwhelm her. She's refused it all. Every step forward I try to make, she pulls back further. I feel like I'm watching my wife slip away, and no matter how hard I try to reach out to her, she won't take my hand. I don't want to give up on her, but I'm also running out of options. I feel like I'm stuck in this impossible place, trying to respect her need for independence while also knowing she needs help, and trying to protect our financial future while also seeing how fragile her mental health has become. How do I find a happy medium? How do I help my wife without pushing her further away? Right now, I'm continuing therapy on my own because it's the only thing keeping me grounded. But I don't know how to get Marcia the help she needs if she's unwilling to take any of the steps I've offered. I love her, but I'm struggling to see how we can keep going like this. So there you have it. My only update is that I have no idea where to go from here. What would you do?